we're in the space of, like, we want to know better, do better, it starts with the adults, right? I mean, we need to be prepared to have those conversations and monologues with the kids.
No, I agree. And oftentimes when you talk to an adult, it's this idea, well, that's how I've always done it. That's how it's always been.
Yeah.
And we're not able to budge, and we have to get past that. Because
Yeah,
we
I was spanked.
Yeah.
I was spanked, and I'm okay, here I am.
Yeah.
But like, know better, do better.
Yeah.
I don't want to take my kids out.
Evolution, we have to evolve a little bit.
I think like a lot of this sums up to the fact that if you were okay being spanked, that's because as the person who is abused, you get to decide if it was abusive. The abuser doesn't get to decide if they're abusing, right? If you're abusing, you don't get to be the one that calls it, saying, oh, I'm not abusing you, right? If it's happening to you, you can decide if it's okay or not. You get to decide that. But how is that happening if you're hitting your kid? Are you asking them, hey, are you okay with this? Or do you think this is going to be abusive? I mean, it's great everybody who got spanked is feeling good with it, but...
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, that's because you have the power to, so to sit up there and say, well, I hit my kids and my kids came out fine, like, you don't get to actually decide that it was okay for you to do that, because you were the abuser, you were the potential abuser, you don't get to pick that was okay. And there's this interesting story going around on social media now, you've probably heard it, about this little boy who does something wrong, and his mom says, all right, so you're going to have to get spanked, so you have to go out and find a switch for me to spank you with. And so he goes out, and he's gone a long time, and he comes back, and he's sobbing, and he doesn't have a switch, and he says, Mommy, I'm so sorry, I couldn't find a switch. Here, just throw this rock at me.
Oh.
Because you know what? Hurting your kid is hurting your kid. It doesn't matter if you think it's a little swat or if you throw a rock at their head. You don't know what they feel like. You just don't know. So just think, I think you have to think about that the person who gets hit gets to decide if it was bad, not the person doing the hitting.
Okay, Sarah,
Yeah, it's real short. Yeah. All I want to say is that it's, and Dexter, we've said this in theater together, it's managing expectations and it's all problems are communication problems. The issues that I have with my son not behaving are him not understanding the world that we're in. So it's not about me, yeah, there are times where I'm like, I feel like I gotta react in this moment right now, but that's not when the work starts. You should be having conversations. Xander, if you don't stop doing that, you're going to go to timeout. If you don't stop doing that, you're going to get grounded. There is a managed expectation going into the discipline, which is then now you don't get your switch for tomorrow or whatever. It's communication, and it starts before the point where you have to go, you know what, I'm too mad to discipline right now because I'm going to smack my kid. Like, it starts way before that, before you get angry.
Yeah. I think it comes back to the whole idea that, as parents, we feel like we are the, overseer, and they are kind of underneath us, so to speak, and we have that right. So that's a whole other topic. Then I'm gonna let you go, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make this short. Ms. Pat, I agree with her. People come from all sorts of backgrounds, financial, to blah, blah, blah. So, in different styles. And it's like, if you don't have anything to take away, they do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all about communication. I was spanked as a child. I didn't get a lot of spankings, but there is a difference between spanking and abusing. There is a difference. And just with our cultures, just to say between black people and white people, I'm just gonna say it. When I was in junior high, I had white girls tell me that they literally cussed their mother out, called them B's, MFers, all that. That's total disrespect. You would not have heard any of that in a black home. No. That's not happening. I was totally appalled by that, because I'm like, you even look at a black mama wrong. She goes, no!
Well, that's a general statement.
Yeah. So you gotta teach your kids, and even with my boys, I spank them sporadically, rarely. But I also taught them when they came of age, children know. You can tell a toddler, yes or no. They understand, like you said, they just can't communicate it. So that's why they cry, that's why they fall out, because they can't tell you, they don't have that verbiage yet.
Some kids get hit for that.
Right. So you learn that. And so again, parenting classes. But I told my kids as they grew up, when they came of age, you can talk to me, like Ms. Pat said, but you will not be disrespectful in my home.
So, and then my question about that, and
Yeah.
again, we're gonna wrap this up, but my question with that is always, if a person feels as though they're going to get reprimanded in a certain way, or certain things are seen as disrespect,
Yeah.
will they always feel comfortable coming to you to say?
So-
Well, and this is just a rhetorical
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Just like the idea of, you know, if I feel like there's a chance that I may get hit, if she takes it or he takes it the wrong way, then I'm not gonna say anything. Because it's just easier to not say anything, so I don't have to take that risk of possibly being hit. And then also, my question is always this, and I'll leave it here. Who gets to draw the line in regards to what's just simple, a little spanking and abuse? How do we draw that line? And that's the thing, because it can go from one to the other very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it, where you just get so mad. And then it's also, you know, where it's like, you know, I know sometimes, you know, it's this idea, sit still, but you hit me. Why?
Right. Yeah. No, be quiet.
Don't cry. So so that's a touchy one for me. So I know it's getting late, and I want to wrap this up because we can do a part 2. This is what it's all about. Being able to sit here. We've all had opposing ideas and thoughts here, and we still were able to express that respectfully and in love, I believe. I believe that this is what it's all about in regards to, you know, breaking bread and having that type of unity and village and community where we should be able to have tough, hard conversations, right? And it's some things where you can say something, and if I oppose it, I can see you differently, right? Where it's like, ooh, I didn't know she thought like that. But we all come from different perspectives, different backgrounds, different ideas, and we're at different periods in our life. You know, like I said, being a single parent, I saw things totally different than, you know, I do right now when my kids are grown. I can say, okay, bye, see ya. You know, I mean, it is different. So we evolve and we learn. But I truly appreciate each one of you all for being here today and having these conversations and being able to do it in a respectful way. And also you all too, in being able to, because these are tough ones, and they can really evoke some emotion, right? And some passion. I like to call mine as passion when I get really worked up. So I appreciate that. And I do have some giveaway. I was supposed to give out raffles. You guys came in, but I forgot. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of figure out a way to give away real quick. And I just want each of our panelists to just give a parting word or like something that you know, reflect on what just happened today. And we're going to close up. Thank you, Rodney, for being the white camera. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
And of course, I get the one person with the mic in. Thanks. That was purely self-serving, man. I don't know, I guess in closing, I just want to say it's really great to, I was chuckling when Aaron sent out the list of topics. I was like, well, why don't you put something on that's like really divisive or something? I mean, it's just this list of everything, just the toughest things. And I gotta say, to spend a night actually talking about it instead of actively avoiding the topics and talking about it in a civil way and really diving deep is good and it's healthy. And I really applaud Erin for everything that she's done to kind of bring us together.
Yes, I was very, very glad to be invited as well, participate in this. The issues that we talked about are big. I often talk to some of the kids tonight. I tell them, how do you eat an elephant? And most of them stare at you like, what kind of question is that? How do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. Some of these issues are big, bigger than what any of us can handle. But if we take it one bite at a time, we'll finally get the answers. And that's where I think we really need to go.
Right, you should do a bite of like a cracker or something when you sit it down.
What do I say? I'm just honored that you asked me. Because when you asked me, I'm like, what can I bring to the table? And that's why I asked, I said, do you want research or do you want it to be authentic? And when he was like, authentic, I was like, that's me. But hearing different people's perspectives opened up my eyes to things as well. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I was like, and then I was like, no, that's the way they see it. Let me show my, share my perspective as well, especially being a Black woman. We're not seen, we're not heard, we're not protected. So for you to open this up, I'm sorry, I'm crying. That touched me that you asked me. Because again, like I said, we're not seen, we're not heard. I know you do, and I see you doing it. And I know from this, it's gonna be more spaces open up for Black women to be them, to not have to switch code. But just to be their authentic, raw self, and I thank you for that.
So I'll kind of piggyback what you said, but from a different perspective.
You're not a Black woman.
The first time Aaron had me on the program, we were talking about Black Lives Matter and police. And I'm a retired police officer, so one of the, kind of along the lines of what you were saying is dispelling stereotypes, right? So I'm a large, bald, white guy, look like a jackbooted thug, skinhead, racist, whatever. I'm not, right? So it was fun to be able to go on the show and kind of dispel that, that stereotype. And we have another program where it was myself and Sheriff Chris Swanson from the Genesee County Sheriff's Department. And he talked about when he walked with everybody at the Black Lives Matter protest. And so, that's one of those things where, at first sight, everybody tries to paint a picture of you or paint you into a corner. And, that's not how it should be. And we need to be able to listen to each other and have this kind of dialogue. And I enjoy it very much. I appreciate Erin and what she does with her program. And it was a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
I have been retired now since 2017, after having worked from the time I was 15. So about 50-some years I worked. In my primary career, I was a problem solver. So I got to talk a lot, and I did a lot of public speaking. And I have missed these conversations. I lived in Denver, Colorado, Idaho Falls, Idaho, Morgantown, West Virginia. Now, along with Houston. Those two places, I was a novelty. So I essentially have given credit to God for sending me to those godforsaken places. For the purpose of having conversations and introducing white people to Black people, because there were very few of us. And so this has been fun to me because I, throughout my career, enjoyed introducing non-Black people to who we are as a people, and people of different religions and cultures. I was a chemist and worked in the nuclear weapons industry, so I had a bunch of people wondering, how the hell did she get here? I was a manager, so I was in top management, so I wasn't just an underling. So I got an opportunity to talk to a whole bunch of people that was way up there that, just figured it, and the people at the bottom. I had an awesome, awesome time, but I only attribute it to God sending me to those places, because I wouldn't have went to those places if I hadn't. Thank you so much, Erin, for allowing me the voice and being able to kind of have some fun, and also listening a lot to what's going on. I'm Erin's mom, by the way.
but I think one of the biggest problems with everything going on is that no one is telling the truth. You talk to someone, you're afraid of what they're going to say and then how they're going to think about you, and then none of our grievances actually get aired out there, and then you're voting on policies based on just a bunch of random stuff, and it's really hard to do that without that. But I do think that conversations like this are very important, but what about afterwards? We can sit here all day and talk about it, but what's going to happen afterwards? We can say that we need to come together against this common goal of making the world better, but are you going to look at me and say that, yeah, I think that black people are being hurt and abused and all these other things, and are you going to try to do something about that, or like, do you not actually believe that? And I think that's really important, but something else I want to say, but yeah, I'll come back.
Well, I want to thank you for inviting me to be part of this, and I agreed because I think you're amazing, but really just because I think that it is our responsibility, and I'm so happy to see such a full room of people to bring civility back to our culture. And there is so much on social media where people disagree, and I learned a long time ago that maturity is a choice and not everyone chooses it, and that and we've seen a lot of that, haven't we? I'm appalled at grown-ups that say, oh, if you think differently than me, we can't be friends. Because we all think differently. We all have very diverse backgrounds and so much to bring to the table, even though maybe we don't feel like it, because sometimes in your own life you don't feel that way. But I love that we had this time to chat and again, light topics, thanks. And but it's important because it's happening in our world. So I really was hoping to be part of something where we really modeled that so that people could see it, and now we can all go out and do a better job of having more discussion with people than just seeing whatever side maybe you may feel you're on or whatever, because I don't like that at all. But one of the things that I was raised with is that God gave us 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak, so we should listen twice as hard as we should to speak. And I think if we all did that and really came to the table with treating people the way we want to be treated, that we could really help heal our world. So thank you for beginning that and being part of that process.
I just wanted to come on because, number one, I have mad love and respect for Erin. And because I believe, as John Lennon said in one of his songs, I don't see problems, I only see solutions. There are all kinds of solutions to the problems we have. It's about dropping our egos and coming to the table honestly with open hearts and love, and realizing that what makes us common makes us stronger as a society, and that we just need to come together and break the false dichotomy that we have right now, that it's this or it's that. It's not that. Break that dichotomy and break the wheel.
I did remember. I guess I'll just share one thing. For me, and I agree with to some extent, but it's really hard for me to agree and respect and try to still be friends with something that I really disagree with. Like, you can say that Michigan State's better than Michigan, I'll still be your friend. But if you're like saying that, like, I don't want to bring anything more to the discussion, but if you're saying like gay people don't deserve to be married and things like that, exactly.
We'll talk about it.
But like that's super hard for me to respect you and still be your friend. And I don't know. I still think discussions like this are super important, but I think on the other hand, we have to stop turning the other cheek every single time and actually get down to it. And yeah.
Thank you so much. And Erin, I did want to just share something real quick, because I thought about something when you said what happened after the discussion. Really quick, there was a guy I was talking to, he was told me clear out that he didn't like black people, he was a white supremacist, okay? We had a conversation, just him and I. And we talked, he grew up in Saginaw, he was a poor white gentleman that grew up in Saginaw, one of the only white people in his community, as he said it, and he was bullied a lot, bullied every day, okay, for not having Jordans and all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And what he told me was that, and that's why he didn't like black people. Do I agree with a person not liking like a whole group of people based on something? Of course not. But did I understand why he did it? Of course. understand why we look at the people that mistreat us and we don't like them, right? But the reason why I say that is that after that, talk to him, he thanked me for listening, right? And for me, even though I don't know where his life is right now, I don't know what he did, but for me, I look at it like, in that moment, because of that conversation, he saw one black person that cared about him, that showed him some empathy, that showed him love. And for me, that's the next step. So some stuff does come from having those conversations at times. We may not see what comes from the seeds that we plant, but I believe that this right here plants seeds. And that's why I believe in what we do, because sometimes you just don't see it. It's not grand, it's not huge. You know, you don't have this big epiphany sometimes with some people, but he can walk around and know that one person that looked like me gave him some care and gave him some love, and that's what's important to me. And that's why this is important. So I thank you all for being here today. Truly do, from the bottom of my heart. Like, I was so overwhelmed with joy today. I'm sorry, I cry a lot. But it comes out because, you know, you can believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself, you pump yourself up. But when your village comes out, your community comes out and shows support and believes in you, it means a lot. So I appreciate that. So I want to give it to you, panelists a gift for being here quickly. Lisa. She'll be the order, right? Oh, you do? Yep. Oh, good. How are we going to do it? Tell me. Magic? Okay.
It's 12 numbers and stuff.
Okay, Aaron, I want to get this right now. I want to let everybody know the community, man, they came together. The community came together and gave donations so that we could sow back into the people that sow into us. So I'm very appreciative of that. Okay. Kelly, for you, for what you're doing. Laura V, for you. It's not much, but it's something. You guys can come up and get it if you want. Laura V, I saw you here somewhere passing notes in class. Okay, yeah, take the photos. Mo, my Mo, where is he? Laura V, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Laura Light, don't let me poke you, my friend. There's so much to go out, so I appreciate that for getting this started. Jared, thank you. Sarah, I know. You don't look like recognition. Thank you. Giselle and the band, so everybody. I have DJ and envelopes, so you guys can, each one has one. Giselle, thank you all for coming and living your voices. I'll put it in your hands later, then, since you won't come up. So we do have a raffle real quick. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I get this stuff to everybody. How many things are there? A lot. Okay, all right. So we have a $25 gift gas card.
That is going to Amy Katz.
Woo! A $50 nails with Taylor at Cooper and Company.
Trisha Fernby.
Trisha, oh! $25 Starbucks gift card.
Jennifer Austin.
Can you guys hear me? I'm talking. $25 Amazon card.
Sue Williams.
Start throwing them out.
I got plans for plans.
$25 Live Oak gift card.
That is Jen Rapanos.
Awesome. Then we have a $50 gas card.
That is Jessica McFarland, who I think left. no, that was, we did that already. Let's do, oh, listen, it was a last minute thing and it was a good idea, but how we executed it may be a little sloppy. So thank you for holding. Nicole Rickard.
Okay, $50 gas card. Mary Kay stuff.
Denise Westport.
So we have a mindfulness, two mindfulness sessions in here with the Amy Phoenix. So when's this?
Jocelyn Cholsky. Oh, wait, no, never mind, it's next to Tammy DeRuiter? Ryder.
Awesome. Starbucks coffee and mug or something.
That is Tony Etney.
Starbucks coffee and mug.
Courtney Soul.
Starbucks mug.
Kevin DeLuke. All right, then Jan Lantern. All right. Kirsta Mann.
Yeah.